Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes. The missus just making a cup of tea, so if you can hear something taking off, it's just the kettle. So don't panic. I'm not flying to space yet. She might force me one day. Welcome to Through Black and White Eyes. Baz and guests will review last night's cracking win against USG and preview Sunday's game against Forest. The reason why we're doing that is night shifts, and Dan has a life. Lucky for some. Please like, share, subscribe, hype to promote the channel. It's free. Join from 99p. Donate using the super chat bottom right hand corner. All profits donated to charity, as you all know that already. And please be respectful. That's all we ask. Even everyone, even Gary, even Leslie, Jules. It's quiz night, isn't it? Oh, no, it's tomorrow night. We've got Jules in the house. Hope your holiday was good. Dan's obviously waiting to come on. We're just going through the usual stuff. Cheers. How are you doing, Cheers? Right. Very quickly, because I haven't done it for a while and I feel a little bit bad. Diet Crow, amazing sponsors. Use code BAZ20 for 20% off. Link is in the description. Amazing stuff. Don't just do Newcastle stuff, so please check them out. And the Geordieland Experience, absolutely amazing. If you're coming over from overseas and you want to learn about the history of Newcastle, go on ghost walks and all that sort of stuff, they are your guys, so get in touch with them as well. And just because I can, why not? I like that picture too much, don't I?
Stop playing to me, start playing through me. You get me? Hello, Baz. And no, I do not have a life. What are you talking about?
You do, you liar.
No, I've just got a busy weekend planned. And that has nothing to do with that. I call it. I call it shoot. I can't even think of the words. Hi, good evening. Good to see you.
A lucky weekend.
Commitments. That's the word I was looking for. I have commitments.
I like
so. But yeah. Can we talk about that match?
After this.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad as what we thought it could have been. Everyone thought he did his ACL. I thought he did his ACL, but he hasn't. Must be some sort of bone bruising or something. But very glad it's only 6 to 8 weeks. I know that's still a long time, but in football terms, it's not. It could have been, at least 6 months, couldn't it? Or longer. So very happy, and we just wish him a speedy recovery and hope it's a bit quicker. You never know with the way players heal these days with everything that they do. So happy about that.
Agreed. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he was injured, but it is much better than an ACL or an MCL or something or an Achilles like he's suffered in the past. So no, I'm very, very it's very positive news that it's 6 to 8 weeks. So
or you could be Yamal and have a sore cock.
I said that when I said that. I think it was with the Barcelona fan when I was in New Jersey when I was saying that during the Barcelona match. I was saying that, and he, good Lord, he was adamant that that's not what they said. That it was a groin pull or something. I said that's not what was announced. He goes, they never announced that. So anyway, shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave if he's watching. But yeah, I will tell you, I went to bed Tuesday night thinking, okay, here we are on the road in Belgium, at Anderlecht Stadium. I'm just, I was a little bit nervous, and then I saw the lineup, and I was just like,
I like the lineup.
Well, I mean, yes, but I mean, it didn't look horrifically different than the one that just played on Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. But
so
I've got another one for you first.
Oh, okay. Jeez Louise.
I actually got sent this.
Oh, that's brutal.
Literally, someone DM'd me this 15 minutes before kickoff, and I could not stop laughing. And I would have given a shout out to the person who created the tweet, but he's blocked. He's a twat. But the person who sent me it, thank you, mate, because that is actually very, very funny.
Oh my goodness! Well, where's the hairband though? First it was the Alice band. Now we've got the full Gucci thing. Like
it was a proper wet look, wasn't it?
Yeah, like ASM used to wear. Jeez Louise. So yeah, I don't want to jump forward.
That's the funny stuff out the way. So the lineup.
I was watching. I saw the starting 11. I was just like, okay, so who's resting? That kind of thing. But I was pleasantly surprised. Well, Elanga came on.
Elanga
we didn't have
Murphy, didn't he?
Yeah. And within, I mean, he was fantastic. He won. He earned the first PK. I mean, and I mean, just some
and
really,
he won that as well.
He did that. I mean, and that was something that we would have expected out of a Gordon. That kind of thing. That he wins PKs like nobody's business. But Elanga did what a great job just at the top of the box. But before that, we had what is both Sandro and Big Nick are both claiming the goal. I'll tell you on replay to me, sadly, and I showed it multiple times, I could not determine whose foot it actually went off. It looked like it was an own goal. Then it looked like Big Nick's feet were in there. Big Nick's feet are everywhere. So I was chuffed. As soon as the ball went in, I was thrilled. So as soon as the first goal went in, my nerves were settled, and I started thinking to myself, okay, this is the team that beat PSV, and it looks like we've got a game on our hands. So I was really, really well chuffed in those first 20 minutes.
The lineup for me was saying, go out and show everyone what you can do. Because I think that's almost his best lineup. Put Lewis Hall in instead of Dan Burn. And I know Dan Burn deserves his place at the moment, but he's not a left back. We know he's better at left centre back. But we're not going to rush Lewis Hall back in.
Right.
And I think that's great management. And they've done it with Voltamade, and we're obviously reaping the rewards on that one as well. Not rushing them into full 90 minutes. So that was almost our best starting 11 for me. And I feel sorry for Cher, because Cher's done nothing wrong all season.
No, not at all. But again, take
absolute beast.
But again, managing Cher's minutes, to make sure that he comes back in full kittle. We've got four fronts to fight on this season.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I was going to say we've got 4 centre backs. We've actually got 5 centre backs.
No, we have 5 centre backs, which is great. We have 4. We have 4 competitions to be competing in, and we need all hands on deck. Losing a Livramento, now that brings Trippier back into the 4 and puts Emil Kraft right there on the bench, ready to go when he's called upon. And I have every expectation that we'll probably see him more in the Carabao Cup now. But I mean, I was looking at our bench last night, and I wasn't disappointed. We had options off the bench, and you're sitting there going, okay. It may not look as good as an Arsenal bench, like on the weekend. It may not have been as impressive as that, but at the same time, you're just sitting there going, it's not all championship players. There's still a few in there, but they're not all. And we're doing good. We're in good shape, so that made me happy.
Yeah, definitely. There's Forest were 1-0 down, then went back to 1-1. Now they're losing 2-1. That's very quick. Inside first 25 minutes, I think. Leslie. We'll talk about the first. I mean, even before the lead up to the first goal, I was sitting there watching it, and I thought, because obviously you're going away to Belgium, it's more of an artificial pitch than it is of a real pitch. You got to get used to that. You got to get used to the weather. I was expecting a very in-your-face game, a bit like we do to Arsenal normally, but obviously that didn't happen on Sunday. But I was expecting that from them. But we controlled the game so well. The passing, some of the passing and movement and triangles, and I was just like, this is not what we saw on Sunday. This is unbelievable.
It was
exactly.
It was a sight to behold.
Yeah, and the first goal, I mean, it's a good cross from Elanga. It almost lands on Voltemade's head, but it obviously gets knocked down to the edge of the box. Sandro Tonali, who was everywhere the other night, and he was on the end of it. He goes for a side-footed place shot. I think the keeper has it covered, to be fair, if it doesn't take the deflection. And I was like you, I thought that's an own goal. No, it wouldn't be classed as an own goal because the shot was on target. So I thought it was Tonali's goal. So I put the big tweet out, Tonali, and all this sort of stuff. And then when I saw the replay and I watched it closely, I was like, that is an unbelievable finish from Voltemade. That is incredible. The way that he shifted his feet and to understand where he was in the goal as well, to be that instinctive was just incredible. And he meant that, obviously. He absolutely meant that. And
for me, it looked like Iosi Perez against Leicester. Remember the back heel. It was something akin to that. It was just like, whoa, wait a minute. And I'm sure Sandro's upset about it. But at the same time, let's just take it. It's a goal. Let's just be happy it went in. So there you go.
Sandro does not care. He just wants the team to win. You can tell, can't you? I think it was Les who pointed out how great it felt to be relaxed as a fan once we went free. It's nice feeling relaxed. Have Forest caught the Ange, can't defend the top. Yeah, of course they have. Not like you to jump the gun, Baz. You were just excited. Damn right I was. I was like, and I was at work and in the canteen, and a few people sitting around me, and I went ballistic, and everyone's just like, "What?" You give everyone a bit of a shock. People. It's weird because I this Liverpool fan in my group of friends at work. And I was watching the Newcastle Arsenal game semi-final. And it was on ITV. And like when Liverpool score, he kind of like gives it a little yay. I'm like, that's not how you celebrate a goal. So when we score, I go ballistic, and he's like, "What the fuck, man? What are you doing?" I'm just like, "That is how you celebrate a goal, mate."
Yeah. Especially when there's no doubt. It just goodness gracious, it was.
Yeah, the great thing about that goal: no offside, no VAR involvement. It was just pure elation that we actually scored, and we could celebrate it, couldn't we?
100%. Well, but then that brings us right to the first VAR incident, which was Elanga's PK, the PK that he earned. I mean, I always get nervous. I mean, we saw it on Sunday, but I always get nervous when I see the referee make the rectangle and have to go over. And then it adds insult to injury when the referee doesn't hurry over to the screen when he takes his time. And he walked 20, 25 yards before he picked up and jogged over. I was just kind of like, come on, mate. We're all on tenterhooks here. Let's just pick it up a little bit. So
I think what they were looking for in the penalty, and I thought it might get overturned, and the reason being is that when Elanga touches it, he's lost the ball. And then he gets taken down. The ball, it was quite a heavy touch. So is he going to get the ball after the contact? Right. I don't think he was. But again, it was a rash challenge.
Yeah.
And this is the whole argument with the Nick Pope thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter where the ball went. Doesn't matter how far away it went. There was contact.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this guy never even touched the ball, did he? And I think they were checking to see if it was inside the box as well, weren't they? Which it definitely
because was. It says it was right on the line, but it was definitely inside the line, not outside the line. So I was expecting a free kick on the line. That's what when VAR was going to be considered. I was expecting us to get a free kick on the edge of the 18, just on that corner. But when he pointed to the spot, I was happy. I actually got a smile on my face. I was just like, well, we got a call. Yay. How does the Diao check? Oh my goodness.
It's a brilliant one. Just Watch it on YouTube. I'm not going to try and recreate it. But it's
Ciao,
very good.
ciao, ciao.
Yeah, pretty much how it worked. But then
he came from Milano to play with Sandro, and he loves the fucking tune. La 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 la. It's fantastic, and to see it out in whatever the square it was, and hear it as loud as it was, I was just that'll do. I think you got. Do we tell it? It was on Geordie. It was on Geordie Josh. His Instagram account last night is where I saw it first.
I've seen it a few places now. To be fair,
Mala, ciao, ciao, ciao.
X Factor, watch out for Dan.
Come from Milano to play with Sandro, and he loves the fucking tune. La, 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 la.
Honestly, I don't know who makes up these songs, but they're absolutely brilliant, aren't they?
Well, and it kind of, I feel bad for Sandro Tonali as well, because Voltamate's almost, it has taken a little bit of his as well, because they've been singing the Voltamate ole ole, for Nick as well. So, but he's also got That's Amore, Voltamate. So I'll have put dance on. It's water. Bobby, as Bobby Boucher would say, quality H2O. You can do it.
Do you know what it is? The more I watch the goal again, I still think it comes off the defender's foot as well.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. So I was expecting Tonali to get credit for it, and then I saw it ricochet or deflect off of the keeper's foot. I mean, off of one of the defender's feet, and then all of a sudden, it's up on the screen. Voltamate scored in the 17th minute, and I'm sitting there going, I didn't see his feet, but then I was like, there was 18 feet in there, and of those 18 feet, Voltamate's were 7 of them. So I was chuffed. Just it didn't matter. So
I think he must have touched it, but then it's hit the defender and then gone in. But we obviously it's on target, so it counts as a goal. So we'll take it no matter how it happens.
As you were saying, I think the thing that impressed me the most was the ball control. I mean, just the movement of the ball. We were so sure. We were assured in our ball movement. That the midfield triangle was working perfectly. Chow and Botman were involved. And when you needed a solid leadership brain, the ball went back to Trips. And that's what we've expected of him. And we were, a couple of weeks ago, I was saying, Trips maybe, have to be okay with more time on the bench so that Tino can get out there. I'm again, Eddie Howe. In Eddie we trust. Just let him do what he's doing. I love the way he handled the press in the press conference when he was asked about Karl-Heinz Rummenigge's comments about being about Stuttgart finally finding an idiot willing to pay the price for Voltamate. Well, right now, look at him. He's worth every penny. 3 goals in 6 appearances. That's one every other game. I'll take it. And some of those games, he only got 30 minutes. So go for it. Okay, I'm going to shut up. You talk. I'm just happy.
Before the penalty, there was actually a big chance for Joelinton, the header. It just went wide. That was nice to see Joelinton getting the confidence now to get in the box and try and get onto the end of things, because in previous games, till the Bradford game, he wasn't doing that, was he? He wasn't really going in and trying to get on the end of things. So that was another good sign from our midfield. It was like they were getting in the box and trying to score. And
we weren't afraid of trying. That was the best thing. Yep.
It was a great effort. I couldn't believe it went wide, to be fair. Great cross again from the right-hand side as well. I thought that was more of a penalty as well, because the defender jumped right on the back of him. And then he put him off a little bit. But Elanga again down the right, as you mentioned, the penalty. Gordon steps up to take it. Great penalty. Honestly, I was nervous when he started to take that penalty because he's missed a few recently and important ones. What are you laughing at?
I'm just going back and reading comments. Jules and
Right.
Les, my nickname was Tigger in high school, believe it or not. Sorry.
But Gordon was cool as you like. I was really nervous. I was bricking it when he took that penalty because I thought the one he missed against Everton, I think he missed another one before that as well.
I think the stats were he's scored 9 out of 12.
Which is brilliant, isn't it? But you only remember the last couple of bad ones, don't you?
Yeah.
By the way, Voldemort as well in that in the second half when he had 3 players around him, and he literally just danced around them all, played it off into midfield. The ball ends up on the right hand side to Alanga somehow, and he gets a good shot off and possibly should have scored. Actually, no, I'm being a bit harsh. It was a good strike, but just the
ball control.
He doesn't care where he gets the ball at his feet. He knows he's gonna come out with it. He's brilliant. We had a bit of a scare straight after that as well. That ball over the top that showed Dan Burns' lack of pace and the left-footed shot that just went wide. And they started to attack down our left-hand side a little bit in the second half. I think they realised, as good as Dan Burn is, he's not fast. And they had the pace. And we have Nick Pope, don't we?
Yes, we do. I was going to say, and we don't have the luxury of counting on Anthony Gordon to get all the way back to help cover him. So you're absolutely right. I think as Union started to progress down our left-hand side, they were noting that Dan Burn is not as fast, but at the same time his legs are 9 feet long, so he takes 3 steps and he's equal to everybody else. So he doesn't have to be fast; he just has to be smart. And as time goes on, and it's going to catch up with all of us, but as time goes on, Dan Burn is showing that he's got a soccer brain. He's got a football brain. He knows how to use the space. Sometimes when he gets caught out, he gets, it's tough for him to get back, but and he relies on his teammates to help him out. But at the same time, when you've got a Sven Botman back there, when you've got the Malik Chow, can we talk about him for just a minute?
Go on.
He came in. We were thrilled when he signed. I was in the club shop the day he signed. We all know that. We were thrilled when it was finally announced, which wasn't until the next day. We just didn't know when he was going to get a chance, because Fabs is evergreen. I mean, he doesn't get old; he just gets better looking. Damn it! But now he got concussed, because we've always known that's an injury with him. But Malik came on as a sub. I can't remember which match it was, but he came on as a sub and played so well. And he is.
Was it Wolves?
Was it Wolves?
I think so.
Well, he's just been phenomenal since he walked on. I have not been nervous with him in the back line at all. And given that he's played with now Tino Livramento, and he's played with Trips, and he's now forming that center back partnership with Sven Botman that we were expecting was going to happen when we signed Chow.
I think we always knew eventually them two would pair up, but we always knew Shaw and Byrne because of their performances at the start of the season and also the end of last season, where they were so solid. And it's probably potentially both of their last years. I think Dan Byrne might have one more year left in him, but we know Cher's leaving at the end of the season. So it was very hard to drop them. But once they were, unfortunately for Shaw, he got the head injury. Dan Burns had to be pushed out to left back. And when you put them together and the way they performed in the last 2 games, it's been phenomenal. And it's now, how does Eddie Howe drop them? I don't think he can. So Cher's going to be sitting there going, fuck.
At the same time, then I get to, he could be thinking to himself, well, now I get to defend the Carabao Cup, that kind of thing. That'll be my legacy. Let's win it a second time, back to back, because he was in the starting 11. So
rotation's going to be massive, isn't it? At the end of the day, we will rotate players. He's going to get his chances again. and we have to make sure we manage Botman's minutes as well because he's played 290 minutes now. So I think Botman might be rested for Sunday, but we'll come to that a little bit later. Yeah. Yeah, we've been chasing Chow for a while, to be fair. We've always liked him. I just don't understand why we didn't go for him when Como almost had him signed for a cheaper fee. That was the craziness of that whole transfer in the end. But anyway, back to the game. Third goal, it's another penalty.
I
think
was
this was harsh.
Yeah. I fully agree with you. Yep.
This is the Champions League, though. I mean, he puts in an unbelievable cross, doesn't he?
Yep.
And his hand's down by his side. I don't think he's ball to hand either. I just think that's given in the Champions League, and that is definitely not given in the Premier League.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Not. And as soon as the referee sees the ball hit his hand, he points to the penalty spot. Very harsh, very harsh.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't see this because I was actually on my way home on my bike, and for some reason, because I had it on as loud as I could so I could hear it through my pocket, TNT decided to switch the bloody channels, didn't they?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I had no idea what was going on, but apparently there was a bit of a scuffle of who was going to take the pen. I didn't see any of that. Baltimore wanted to take it. Gordon said, no, my duties. And he put it in the same corner, but my God, that was a better penalty than the first one.
Agreed. Yep. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read. There's a Chronicle article about that discussion. I didn't see that part either. I got called out of the room for a minute, so I didn't get to see that part. So I'm sorry, Jules. That was excellent. What a great comment. Oh, Leslie.
No, we don't do Twitch. I just don't do Twitch. I don't get Twitch. It's weird. Twitch. Yeah. I watch Wednesday. She twitches a lot.
There you go. Yep.
And we obviously, when we went 3-0 up, I literally tweeted out, make changes. Do it. The game has ended. Within 1 minute, he's making changes. I was like, yes. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you for listening.
Man management exactly. Last night was also dead on.
It was just brilliant, and even taking off Joe Linton early because he got a yellow card, not risking anything, bringing Miley on, putting the trust in Miley that he should be doing.
Yep,
brilliant man management, brilliant management all around. And plus, Jason probably needed some minutes as well. To be fair,
he does. Well, and yes, he was probably the one we were most dangerous about losing if he went in on a couple of the challenges. A couple of the challenges I thought were innocuous, but there was the one where he got the yellow card. He just looked at it and says, "Why? What
that
for?"
was my first one. That's what he said was my first challenge, and then you've just given me a yellow card. It's like, come on.
So that's I also didn't. This was the thing that surprised me again. Eddie Howe using his tools to his advantage, taking off Bruno and bringing on Lewis Hall in midfield was also, okay. But we saw Lewis Hall play that position for Chelsea, which is one of the reasons why we signed him on loan that season, because he had capabilities he's a Swiss Army knife. He is obviously able to play in many different positions, and Eddie's going to use that to his advantage. Obviously, we think he's a first-class left back, and he's proven himself each time he's made that position his. But at the same time, we needed a little bit more mobility in midfield. To back. Sandro's now played 90 minutes. How often?
Every game.
Exactly. So he's the stalwart one that needs a little bit more coverage. We know that he's going to cover every blade of grass, but he needs a little bit more help. And getting someone with ball skills like Lewis Hall out there, that was helpful.
It was. We mentioned the Usula thing quite early on in the discussion. Absolutely brilliant. Hold up play, running power, I thought was excellent. And then the through ball to Barnes was just weighted perfectly.
Yep.
And his finish was quite lucky, actually. I thought he finished it straight. It actually took a deflection off the defender's foot. And that's why it looped up the way it did. But he did the right thing. He kept it down. He hit the target. And then he got his reward. And I know he's not going to like this. And he will never hear this anyway. And I put it out there on Twitter. But Harvey Barnes is such an amazing super sub.
Yeah.
Because
agreed.
When Gordon's ran them ragged, when the teams ran them ragged, when the game stretched, Barnes can be Harvey Barnes.
Yep.
And he can make those runs and he punishes teams. And that's why we got the 4th goal. And that was the same for Asula. Asula got the space and time to do what he did because the game was stretched. So my argument will always be, can they do it week in, week out? And can they do it when we're chasing a game or when we're at 0-0? That's where they need to prove it to me that they're good enough. But when the game's like this, 3-0, the game's won, you know, they're running ragged, they've opened the game up. Those two were perfect for that situation.
Yeah. I also saw, as he was getting ready to come on, I saw Eddie talking to Harvey, to Barnes, and he was saying, I want you to play the hand movements that he was using was like, I want you to play more centrally. Yeah. I want to see you get further forward and come in. We you know, Gordon's got that left side handled. You know, we've taken Voltamade off. You know, we're bringing Asula on, but Asula can also play out wide right. You know, it's not like Barnes came on and they switched Gordon to the right hand side, and it's not that they asked Barnes to play the right hand side. We managed the ball very well, and we used our forward space. You know, let's just if we have the opportunity, let's take it to them. If not, let's just, you know, not park the bus, but, you know, keep control of the ball. You know, let's make sure that, you know, we don't give one up. Let's keep the clean sheet.
Yeah, exactly. And we nearly made it 5 and should have made it 5 if it wasn't for an unbelievable save from their keeper. I don't know how we saved. I still don't know how we saved it, to be fair. But we worked the ball
he's
through
6
the
foot.
middle.
He's 6'9". All he had to do was look up.
It's still incredible, to be fair. But the ball ends up on the
sit
right
it on the ground. I think he could touch the crossbar. So yeah.
He was a giant. When he was standing there and Gordon was facing him taking the penalties, and he was just on the crossbar like this, I thought, you're not going to score.
Yeah. No, and even better than that was when Dan Byrne went up to go talk to him. You know, Dan Byrne doesn't look up to people. He's used to everybody looking up to him, and here he is looking up at that keeper. And I think it was one of those. That was a fantastic save, mate. You know, 4-0. I don't want to say 4-0 flatters us. We took the game to them and we lost it. But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, I didn't think the keeper had a horrible game.
No, I agree with that.
Gordon put 2 stone cold penalties past him. Yeah. You know, fantastic. You know,
the first one, big deflection, can't do anything about that.
Yeah, and the second one, Harvey was Harvey. I mean, the fourth one was Harvey was Harvey. So you know,
it's a deflection again.
And then that save was world class.
Yeah, but this was the best move of the match for me as well, because the way we got through the middle onto the right, then he flung the crossover to the back post where Lewis Hall was. Yep. Lewis Hall then plays a beautiful 1-2 inside the box. But he doesn't just smash it across the box. He picks out Tonali, who makes a great run onto the penalty spot, and he thrashes it with his left foot. And somehow the keeper's just got his hand to it, and it flew over the bar. I still don't understand how it didn't go in. But that was the move of the game for me. That was the move of the match. I mean, that 1-2 was just beautiful.
Yep. And as you say, it wasn't hard. It wasn't Hall just, you know, belting it across the box. He picked him out. He knew exactly where it was going. Exactly. Gary's asking in the comments, how many of our players last night were 6'4" or over? 6. That's the answer. Yeah. Asula.
The whole back line in the picture.
Yeah. Well, yeah, except for little Kieran Trippier.
Was he not at the front? Because what they did is
he was in the front.
The team photographed, didn't they? And everyone at the back.
We had Nick, Chow, Botman, Byrne, Voltamade, and Asula. There was the 6. I didn't realize Asula was 6'4", but he is.
How tall's Joe Linton?
6'1".
How tall's Miley?
6'3".
It's just crazy, isn't it?
Well, and I'm sitting there going, the keeper their keeper wasn't terrible last night. Is that a possibility? Let's get the 6'9" keeper from was it Saint? How do you say that? Saint
Juliez or something like that. Juliez or something like that. I can't
USG. USG.
USG. That's the best way to describe
There
it.
you go. Yep.
Sula is
Jack?
6, apparently, according to Jack. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack. No, according to Instagram and Twitter reports last night. Yep. He towers over Elanga. So, yeah, supposedly he's 6. I thought he was 6'3", but someone on 2 different social media platforms were claiming he's 6'4". So
6'3" according to SofaScore.
Well,
and that's where I go for all my stuff.
Again, we have a table. I mean, we have at this point we have a roster of giants, and
6'3", 6'4", doesn't really matter.
I just noticed Jack Burton was in the comments. What a great film! Big Trouble, Little China. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. That's been discussed in the chat, I think.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's great to have this back.
Pork Chop Express. Yes. Wonderful to see a win move. Our biggest win in the Champions League.
Yeah, our biggest win in the Champions League. We broke a few records actually last night in the Champions League. I think that's the first time we've had a player score 2 goals in the Champions League since Patrick Kluivert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a long time ago, that one. What else did we...
I'm just looking at...
Anthony Gordon has now scored 3 goals in 2 consecutive games. First player to do that since Shola Obi and Alan Shearer.
Wow.
Nick Voldemort is the only Newcastle player to score on both his first Premier League and Champions League starts for the club.
Wow.
So there we go. We broke a few records last night. And I just love this picture. I just love pictures like this. And I know other fans hate them, but I just think they're brilliant.
I love looking at it. You're always looking for Mad Dog. You're always looking for Murphy. Those are the faces that you want to see in those pictures. You're always looking to see where is Eddie hiding? Where's Graham Jones hiding?
Oh, Graham Jones never hiding. He's got his big mug in the picture all the time. You can spot him from a mile away.
All right, but the thing I'm concerned about is Nick the Kit Man. He looks clean shaven.
He does. Where's his beard? It's nearly Christmas.
I know. Yep. Well, we'll have to talk to Jack. I'm sure Jack has reached out to him while he's been there. So
he's definitely 6'3" or 6'4".
Yeah.
Right. Let's not talk about Sula's height. Anyway. Dan Burn leaving USG from Belgium with 3 points away from home. That's what it feels like. Before we get into our man of the match for the game, because let's face it, man of the match was very difficult last night, but I want to put up the stats. Now, these stats do not read how the game went for me. Bruno only got a 6.9. Tonali got a 6.6, which I think is absolutely ridiculous.
That's
Baltimore, he only got a 6.7.
That's incorrect as well.
Exactly. Nick Pope got an 8.3. I think he deserved that. He kept a clean sheet, kept us in the game at certain crucial times with some big saves. Joe Linton, I don't think he had a bad game, but I don't think he had a 6.1 game.
I think
that's because he got subbed early and he had a yellow card. So sometimes the stats, you've just got to take them with a pinch of salt sometimes. But Elanga was better on the eye than what that rating gives. He won 1 penalty. And he won that penalty. Gordon was brilliant. I think he was better than a 7.7.
So that
team performance.
So keep that up there, because as I said to you in our group chat after the match, I'd already seen some criticism of Elanga saying, is he worth the money that we paid for him? And he was man of the match last night. But if you go back and look at that if you go back and look at the scores, he's not the best player on the pitch. According to that, Pope is. Best outfield player was Gordon. So I'm not sure what standards UEFA was using for their man of the match for the Champions League last night, but I'm not going to disagree with Elanga. For me, it was Elanga, and then Gordon, then Voltemade, then Sandro, and Sandro was not, as you say, a 6'6". He was at least a 7. So I thought we were spoiled for choice when it came to man of the match last night.
We were. Mine would be Voltemade, to be honest with you. I just thought his touch was unbelievable. The way he brought players into the game, the way he made sure we kept the ball. I think the whole triangle, to be fair, when you go from Chow to Bruno to Tonali to Voltemade, them 4 were just exceptional at retaining the ball. Then you also bring Trips into that question as well. And
I didn't realize that Trips got a 7.8.
Yeah, he definitely deserved it.
I thought it was a 7.6. I need to get my eyes checked.
But once you also get out of that triangle, we used the wings and the pace that we had to very good effect, and some of the crosses we put into the box. I mean, there was one point I was drooling the way we were playing football. I was just like, this is just unbelievable.
And Eddie,
so smooth.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eddie has said that. Eddie has been asked, is Voltemade a 9? He says, I see him as a 9. We've just got to get him serviced better. And
find a 9, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And this is it. There's different ways of playing the 9. There's a Wissa way of playing the 9, which is a fox in the box. Which, like an Andy Cole when he starts playing for us.
Or Robbie Fowler, or
You've got a Haaland who just is a beast. He's a 9, but he's a target man 9. Voltemade is someone who drops deep, likes the ball at his feet, even though he's 6'6". It's just
he's an anomaly. I love everything about the kid.
He's just incredible. Would everyone use the same formation team Sunday? Maybe put Hall in over, but I think Hall will come. We'll talk about Sunday soon because we're nearly finished on tonight. But I just want to put this last one up.
I love it. Oh, I love it.
The less said about him, the better. But it is funny at the moment how Liverpool fans are just absolute in disarray.
Well, I love the meme that says that that Jacob Murphy is considering taking out a restraining order against Isak because he keeps demanding he come to Liverpool to provide the assists that Mo Salah won't. I think that's absolutely hilarious, and
it's so true.
Yep. Well, we sold him a gun, but we didn't give him bullets.
Yep. I like prefer the expensive phone, but didn't provide the charger.
Didn't provide the charger. I like that. Yeah. That's better. That's a much better analogy than mine. Yeah.
Who stole my profile pic?
It's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
No. Yeah.
I love finding stuff like that and putting them up.
And again, I was watching Talk Sport late last night. I was watching Talk Sport and watching Simon Jordan and Danny Murphy talking. They were talking about Rumenega's comments about the idiot part, and both Simon and Murphy were just shaking their heads, saying, Bayern's played over the odds for players. We've seen that. So, and the players that they bought were more expensive than the player we got. The only question mark over Voltemade, right, was, what has he done in the past season to warrant it? But then everybody thought that of Isak when we signed him. For us, it's no, perfect, Mo.
Well, that is brilliant, because I have heard that, and I thought that was an excellent. When I saw it on Twitter, I was like, "Yep, that is the perfect explanation of what a Voltemade is for me." So
Well, so now we're going to see what. Now we're going to see what a Sheringham, who was Sheringham's best partner. For England, it was Shearer. For
Ferdinand. He did for a little bit. Then he went to Man United when Dwight York was still there.
Well, and Andy Cole was still there as well, was he?
Yes, that
And then
was
Solskjaer and
as well,
Solskjaer. Yep. No, you're absolutely right. I go back to, we still have not seen. Perfect. Also, yep. Great, Gary. That agreed. Bayern. I love it. I love the phonetic spelling, but also Jack Burton. You just made me smile. No, and then they were talking about what Newcastle has done. Well, what Simon Jordan said was, people are astounded not by the prices that we're paying, but they're also saying, they're saying, well, it's Saudi money, it's Saudi money, it's Saudi money. Okay, but we are not spending money like everybody expected we would when we got taken over. Everybody was expecting we were going to buy Mbappe. We were going to spend 200 million. We're going to spend $500 million every transfer window, and that's not the case. And in the case of both Isak and Voltemade, we're paying for potential. We're seeing what they're capable of. Not just
we use the Isak money as well. We haven't used Saudi money, so I don't know where people get that
from. And that's what Simon Jordan said. When Simon Jordan was saying, this is Isak money. This is Isak money. And Danny Murphy said, you can't criticize Newcastle for buying what we are buying. Bayern bought Kane at what, 30?
Yeah.
They knew what they were getting, but they were paying above and beyond for what they knew they were getting. We can see the potential of what he is. And again, we still haven't seen the best partnership because we haven't seen him play with Wissa yet.
Exactly. One thing I'll say on the Bayern Munich thing, right? It's as simple as this. It's jealousy.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich are used to getting what they want when it comes to buying from their own
It's league. A one league. It's a one-team league. Yep.
Yeah. They bully all the other German teams. When a player comes through and he was really good, they go, right, he's ours next season. And that's how they've always built their team and how they've done it. Yes, they've gone out and bought Olise and Harry Kane, but they wanted Voltemade to come in for long term. And then they wanted to pay, but they wanted to pay what they wanted to pay for the players. And we've gone in and went, hold on a minute. We've lost out on Sesko. Thank fuck for that. We've lost out on Ekatike. Still a bit bitter about that one, to be honest with you. So where do we go next? And Voltemade was right up there with a lot of fans. Not me personally. I wasn't sure. I wanted Samu.
Yeah,
at Porto.
I remember you did. Yep.
Yeah, but I wasn't against it. But my God, he's turned out to be even better than what I expected. So
I really appreciate. I really appreciate the. No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Right.
You had a thought. Finish your thought.
No, it's just the simple fact is for me, it's just jealousy, and that Bayern Munich haven't got the player that they were sounding out to be Harry Kane's replacement, and Newcastle have come in there and went, "We'll pay the asking price. We'll take the player. Fuck you, Bayern. He's ours." Mm-hmm. And they don't like it. They don't like being beaten. It's like a child's response, isn't it? Where they don't get the sweets that they want from their big brother.
The words that were being used were, "This is the Premier League showing their financial might against the other clubs in Europe, against the other leagues in Europe." We're now competing with Real Madrid and Barcelona for players. We're now competing with Bayern Munich for players. We're now competing with PSG for players. It's not just those powerhouses, the ever-presents in the Champions League, who are able to spend. Now, that said, we didn't spend for how many windows? 3 windows.
3. Feels like 3. I think it was 3 as well. So
we bided our time, and as soon as we were able to, that last year of PSR money fell off. Yeah. All of a sudden, it was like, okay, purse strings have been opened, and then on top of that, we sold well. So I love the comparison of Voltemade to Berbatov. I love the comparison of Voltemade to Sheringham. That you could put Sheringham and Berbatov into a player and then subtract a decade. Well, you got Nick Voltemade. There you go.
You have. Oh, honestly, what a game last night, though. It was just great just to have that winning feeling again.
Yep.
Right. Big shout out to Benfield, by the way.
Nice.
They could do with a win.
What's the score? We were paying attention to the score. What's the score now?
Oh, that was the Forest game. I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. It's the chat who have been paying attention to it. I watched him in the Euros, and you know what? I thought, oh, yeah, he's a decent player, but I didn't think he's going to be our next number. Well, technically, he's not on number 9, but he is technically playing in that position. I thought of Samu, Wissa, and then this guy blows everyone out of the water. He's just been incredible. And like I said, he wasn't on my radar, but he was on a lot of other fans' radars. He came up in a lot of our people's chats when we were doing shows, and we were like, yeah, I've seen the name, I've seen bits of him, but like I say, I didn't know enough about him. So I'm just pleased, we've acted and been, for me, I think we've bought, like Dan said, we bought potential, and he's already showing so much more than what we all expected. I think he's blown a lot of people out of the water, hasn't he?
And we've only, for me, I think we've only seen the 80% article. I think we've only seen 80% of what he's capable right now. I'm not speaking to what he's capable going forward. I'm saying we have not seen him link up with a true target, with a true fox in the box. We expected Gordon to play there, in the absence of Wissa. We've tried Alanga there. We've tried Barnes there.
You sure it wasn't Gordon?
The Alice band. Every time I see one of those on a player, I just think Andreas Andersen. I go back to, oh God. Just awful.
You need to join us on Monday night when we go on Martin's channel, because we're going to be doing like the top flops.
Okay.
A mixed 11 of flops.
Got it. Okay.
Basically the worst players ever to play for each club.
Marcelino, Luque. I'll just rattle them off.
We've got a few for every position, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
Who was that goalkeeper? Carl Hooper. Was it Carl Hooper, the one who jumped over the ball in the FA Cup against Stevenage and we conceded? I think it was him. It was definitely Hooper was his last name. Mike Hooper. Mike Hooper. God, he was terrible. And we can't say Matt Sells, can we, the way he's playing for Forest?
No. Who was the one that left us and went to the Frenchman who left us and went to Sunderland?
Perez.
Yeah, Lionel Perez. Lionel Perez.
Around, wasn't it? He came from Sunderland, didn't he?
I think he left us to go there.
I thought it was the other way around. I'll have to look into that. Right, let's talk about Sunday. We are playing against Forest. So Wissa return date is now the 19th of October. So we have a return date.
Okay.
Jacob Ramsey, unknown injury, but we know it's a swollen foot. He's also returning 19th of October, apparently.
Okay.
And Tino
That'll
Livamento's
be nice to see both of those because again they've all almost become forgotten men because we haven't seen them at all yet. So
exactly. And then Tino Livamento, 23rd of November, probably that'll be an early date potentially. For Forest,
just as the holiday period is starting to heat up, that'll be good to see him come back. So and Eddie will probably ease him in. So
for them, they've got Louise, Eni, and Sinchenko all missing.
Okay.
So 3 each, really, basically. So everyone should be all right. According to this, goals scored 4-5. Goals conceded, they've conceded 10, we've conceded 5. 51 shots to our 39. So Forest always seem to have a lot of chances, but don't seem to score a lot, which is quite interesting. We've obviously got the best defensive record in the Premier League at the moment with at least 4 clean sheets, isn't it?
Villa, Leeds.
Different Perez, Jack. That was Iosi Perez.
Lionel. You're thinking of Iosi Perez. We're talking about Lionel Perez.
Yeah, who was a goalkeeper who was just absolutely terrible.
And wore short sleeves. Also wore short sleeves. Yep.
No, he wore long sleeves, but he rolled them up. That's how stupid he was.
Looking
at the last few games, Forest lost to Arsenal, lost to Swansea, drew with Burnley, drew with Real Betis, lost to Sunderland. So they're on a really bad run, and they're losing 2-1 tonight. We have beat Wolves, lost to Barcelona, didn't really deserve to lose that game. I think. Bournemouth game was terrible. No one deserved the win other than Bournemouth, to be honest with you. Bradford, we were fantastic, winning 4-1. Arsenal, again, we weren't great, but I don't think we deserved to lose the game the way we did.
Not the way we did. No.
We didn't deserve to win it, though, either, did we?
No.
And then, obviously, the fantastic win yesterday, which gives us a lot of confidence, finally, that we can actually score goals. Yep. And let's remember, the game last season against Forest at St James's Park, we were 4-0 up at halftime.
Yep.
And it ended 4-3. Mm-hmm. And I am worried because they've got a certain Geordie Maradona in their team, haven't they?
Yes, they do. Yep. And he's having a great season thus far. I mean, all of my friends at the pub have Elliot Anderson in their fantasy teams.
Do they?
Yep.
I really hope he gets a great reception. I really hope he has a stinker.
Yeah, agreed. No, I won't disagree with that.
Harsh.
I'm looking at my fantasy team right now, and you're only allowed in the Premier League fantasy league. You're only allowed 3 players from any one team. So I have Byrne, Elanga, and Bruno. I'm trying to figure out who I can leave out to bring in Voltemade, because I think Voltemade is going to have a game against Nottingham Forest. I think I think we could be surprised tomorrow. I think he could get his first brace for the club. I think he's going to be something else. But having said that, Eddie will probably put him on the bench and introduce him as a sub. So
I don't think he will, because he is technically our only striker. I know Asula, did his little bit last night, and I'm very pleased for him. And I'd love to be proved wrong about him, but at the moment, 20 minutes doesn't make a season. One very quick thing about last night as well. Everyone needs to stop judging players so quickly, including myself sometimes.
I was going to say, pot calling kettle black there, Baz.
Well, Asula's had how long now?
Again.
How long has Asula had?
We've only had him a year and a half.
Well, exactly. I'm talking about 6 games.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So the grief that Alanga's been getting, and as you mentioned it very early on, I just want to say this: people have got to stop judging a player when they've just signed for the club, and it's only been 6 games. It's going to take him a little time to get used to the style and running in, but Elanga will prove to be an unbelievable acquisition for us. So please, guys, just give him a chance.
So do I drop Elanga and put in Elliot Anderson and put Voltemade up front?
It's a tough one, because we'll look at what SofaScore's done once
Okay.
Forest aren't the team. They're not the team.
They've sold half their players.
And they've got rid of the manager, which was the stupidest thing they should have done. I've got him in and triple captain him. So, you should put Voltemade in and triple captain him straight away. I've got no idea what that means, because I do not play fantasy football, because I just don't have the patience for it. But yes, I do know there's a thing like where you triple captain and you get loads of points if he scores and stuff like that. And he will get chances on Sunday, because he will start, don't get me wrong. But we're going to put the Forest team up first. I'm just downloading it because I thought I loaded it in, but I didn't. And it's quite interesting because they did have John Joe Shelby, remember? Chris Wood, Anderson. They like pinching a player from us, don't they? And 2 of the old boys will probably be playing on Sunday.
Yep.
Come on,
Chris Wood, Elliot Anderson, and Matt Sells
as well. Yeah, it could be free playing, couldn't it? Yep. So there we go. So they're going to go 4-2-3-1 potentially. I
forgot that they took Zinchenko.
Yep, Zinchenko's there. Yeah, but apparently he could potentially be missing according to the injury list. But then there he is playing at left back.
Yep.
Anderson's had a great start to his season, and he's definitely in for an England call-up and potentially a starting 11, to be fair.
Yeah.
Now, Gibbs White's always the one that worries me, though, because I think he's a cracking player. But the way would you say it was good management, the way that they kept Gibbs White? Or do you think as the player, you've agreed to move to Spurs and then Forest just shut the door on you and say you're staying and put you in front of the camera with them standing right next to you? It felt like a hostage video. And I know our hostage videos have been
well,
bad,
but at the same but at the same time, he also signed a new contract.
Yeah, but was it a gunpoint?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, true.
I do feel sorry for him because he was all ready to go to Spurs and play Champions League football, and then the Forest manager just went, "No, you're not." Which was a bit of a weird one. Chris Wood is obviously missing Alanga a little bit, but he's still scoring goals. He's obviously a bit of a worry, but all depends who we play at centre back. So this is where it's going to be really interesting. So this is what SofaScore has us at, which is pretty much the team last night, apart from Lewis Hall comes in and Jacob Murphy comes in to rest Alanga. So obviously managing minutes. I know Eddie Howe likes to do that. I would personally potentially leave Botman out to manage his minutes because he played most of the game against Arsenal and he played all the game last night. I would be worried playing him straight off the bounce again. So
do you play Dan Burn in there
centre back
at left centre back?
Yeah.
Do you or do we see something completely different? Do we see a Fabian Schär start?
It could do.
Pairing with Chow.
Because Dan Burn needs a rest as well, doesn't he? I know you say he doesn't, but he's played a lot of minutes, hasn't he?
And could we see a former Nottingham Forest old boy and maybe we see Jamal Lascelles start?
No, I don't think you'll do that. Personally, I don't think you will. I think Lascelles is there as like an emergency centre-back, to be honest with you.
No,
I think Lascelles gets more of the cup game. I know
Agreed. No, I'm not disagreeing with that. Yep.
I just don't. I mean, he came on against Arsenal because we were desperate, weren't we, really, at the time? And we went to 5 at the back.
Yeah.
I don't think not that he shouldn't trust him, but I think when you're playing against Chris Wood, I think Chow and Dan Burn would be a great centre-back pairing because, let's face it, Wood doesn't have pace. So there's going to be a lot of battles, and I think them two would win those battles more than what Schär and Botman will.
Fair enough.
Because of Dan Burn's height. So I'm just thinking about who they're going up against and what their job's going to be. Now, we're going to need Murphy's defensive capabilities to help out Trippier because of Trippier's pace. Obviously, they've got a lot of pace on the wings. Lewis Hall has got enough pace to be able to handle it, and he's also a quality left back. Now, the thing is, though, we don't have another game until the 18th of October. So do we actually need to rest players or not? So this is the other side of it.
Just give them 90 more minutes and then they get a break.
Then they get a break anyway. Botman's not getting called up to the Holland team, so they don't need to worry about him. Dan Burn will be called up to the England team, though, so there's a worry.
Well, we know Livramento won't be.
No. Voltemade will be called up to Germany.
No, apparently not. If you look in the comments, I don't remember who said it, but he was not called up.
I didn't know that. Well, that's ridiculous. Anyway, but Gordon will be called up. Murphy won't be.
Okay. Sorry, Gary corrected it. Gary corrected. Leslie said it wasn't, and Gary corrected, saying that he has been called up. So
all right, there we go. Yeah, I thought you would be. I didn't think they would drop him that quickly. Gordon's obviously called up to the England squad. Bruno and Joe Linton will both go to Brazil. Tonali will go to Italy. Jacob Murphy won't be called up, so Alanga will be. He'll be off to Sweden.
Yep.
Chow, I don't think he's near the. Is it
not the German squad yet? No.
So, and Trippier obviously retired. Nick Pope doesn't get called up anymore. So, isn't it amazing though? 3 years ago, we probably had about 2 internationals.
Right.
Now you look at that starting 11. 9 out of the 11 are internationals.
Yep.
Well, 8 out of the 11 are international players. That is mental. It just shows you how far we've come. But what would you do? Let's just say you're picking the team on Sunday against Forest. What would you go with?
I agree. I see Murphy coming in for Elanga. Give Elanga a rest. There's part of me that thinks that we were missing Joe Linton for a little bit. Bruno, of course, was kept out of the Bradford game?
No, you played the Bournemouth game.
Yeah. I'm wondering if one of the two of those should be rested, considering yesterday's match. But they were also both subbed out, so not
rest Bruno after all those stats we put up about how many games we win without them.
Right. I looking at that 11. I agree with you. I think we need to manage Botman's minutes because he is still recovering from injury. I go back to the Atletico friendly that we watched. He played those first 45 minutes, and then they cooled him down. He did his warm downs during the half, and then they subbed him out. I could see Dan Burn playing in there, but at the same time, if he's going to be called up for England, I would think that Tuchel is going to say, why are you wearing my guy? Why are you wearing my 33-year-old guy down?
So he gets paid by the club and not by England.
Well, yes, this is a true statement. I could see Botman sliding to the bench and Burn sliding over. I could see Lewis Hall starting at the same time. Well, we don't have an alternative, to be honest. And I don't see him playing Burn at left back again. No, I would agree with that starting 11. I'm wondering, do we see Aaron Ramsdale?
Ooh. No, Pope was too good.
Okay, fair enough.
For a goalkeeper, goalkeepers don't really need resting, to be fair. And I think Pope was magnificent last night. He was very good against Arsenal till that stupid last rush of blood at the end of the game. I think he's had a firecracker up his backside with Ramsdale sitting on the bench, and I think he's really improved.
I'll agree with you.
So it's a tough one, but I think Pope still gets there. I think Ramsdale will feature a lot in the cups, the smaller cups, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But it's hard to drop Pope on the saves that he's making. Because he kept us in the game against Arsenal. And like I say, sometimes, I reckon Ramsdale could have made most of the saves that Pope made last night. The one that really impressed me is the one where he just lets the ball hit him and he stays really tall at his front post and it's smashed off his chest. I was like, other goalkeepers go down on their knees a little bit and try and palm the ball over the bar. Nick Pope just says, hit me again.
That was what a great stop,
Literally just let him, and sometimes that's all you can do. I'm impressed with Pope at the moment. Obviously, his kicking is still horrific, but when it comes to shot stopping, collecting the ball, commanding your box, doing everything a goalkeeper you want to do very, very well, he's doing it above average.
Well, and when you're 6'5", I would expect you to go, be going for balls, collecting balls in the air and that kind of stuff. That's where we got burned against Arsenal. If we were playing for the 1-1 draw, there was no business for Nick Pope to be in there at that final corner trying to punch the ball away. He should have just trusted his defenders and protected his front post, his near post. I was livid that night with him, but you're right. For all what that did me. Yeah. Oh yeah, agreed.
There wouldn't have been a corner if he kept a hold of it. But there we go. Before we make our predictions, there's a few little match facts to go through. Newcastle United won 6 of their last 7 league meetings with Nottingham Forest, including their last 3 in a row since a 3-1 defeat in December 2023. The Magpies won more in succession over a tricky trees in March 1937. We lost 5. So a long, long time ago. Nottingham Forest have lost 8 of their last 9 league visits to Newcastle United, 1 win, conceding 24 goals in that period. And let's face it, with Ange, they're not exactly going to come and shut up shop at St James's Park, are they? So as long as we get on top of them, we're going to create chances. and they'll create chances. It's just I think we'll score more goals than them. Newcastle won 6 points in 6 Premier League matches so far this season, which we know about, which obviously not been the greatest start. Nottingham Forest have won 5 points in the Premier League this season, won 1, drawn 2, lost 3, with 80% of those accumulated by former manager Nuno Espirito Santo. It just shows you never, changing the manager was the worst decision their owner ever made. It really was.
Well, you just pissed him off. Another one of those, where the owner insists on being the bigger man.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh, that's Blade's prediction for Sunday.
Oh, okay.
He's jumped the gun. The gun.
Oh, goodness.
Nottingham Forest have won none of their last 3 league games under Ange, drawn 1, lost 2. With Andy Beattie in 1960, the last permanent Forest manager to win none of his first 4 league games. So there's a chance for Ange to break another bad record that you do not want to be breaking. Newcastle have won 56.3% of their Premier League games against sides whose name also begins with an N. Norwich is one of the other ones, obviously. Nottingham Forest manager Ange Pascal won his first Premier League meeting with Newcastle United in December 2023, but has lost his last 3 by an aggregate score of 8-2. Love it. Now, guess who's in charge?
Oh, God.
Referee.
No, please don't.
It's your favorite.
No, it's Hooper.
No, second favorite then, Jared Gillett.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
We just had him.
Yep.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Why?
Yes. Well,
I know.
at least he's not involved with Arsenal this weekend.
No, he's been banned from being a referee with Arsenal.
Has he really, or are you just pulling my leg?
No, he has.
Well, because what
taken away from because he done 4 out of 6 games.
4 out of 6 games. Yep.
Yeah, he's been barred from managing, refereeing against Arsenal.
Well, I'm sure Arteta made that a big deal. So yeah.
I think Reno's happy.
What the hell is going on in the comments? Jeez.
Oh, it's all to do with Ches being a princess, apparently.
Okay, got it. Fair enough.
I'm trying to think of what we should call him instead of Ches. Chelsea.
Chesella.
Oh, sorry, Ches. Right, let's get
you know that Bill Clinton's Premier League team is Chelsea.
Is it?
And of course, his daughter's name is
Chelsea.
There you go.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That, Ches, is why I told you that you were on your own. I love it. Right, get your score predictions in, guys. Obviously, Blade jumped the gun and went in very early, and he said 6-1 because they've now turned into the new Spurs. I would love a scoreline like that. I just can't see
that would be wonderful.
That good.
If the first 21 minutes against Nottingham Forest turned into something like that, that would be fantastic.
I would love it. Gary V's gone 3-0. I hope everyone's had a shot there, by the way. I find you understand. We're all bullies.
Let me see.
Come on, what are you going with?
I said 2-0.
2-0.
Yep. I was being conservative.
That is conservative. I think I went 3-1, same as Mo, on one of my predictors. I think it'll be kind of a comfortable 3-1. Like we go 3-0 up and then they get one back and make it a little bit tense. But
Pope comes out to save something and Wood gets a goal.
Yeah, something like that. Hi, Jessica. How are we doing? She's gone 3-2.
Hi, Jess.
To the Toon. Jack's going 2-1. Very sitting on the fence 2-1, isn't it? Even though you're not sitting on the fence, but 2-1 such a predictable scoreline for a lot of people. I think it's going to be tough because obviously we played last night. They're playing tonight though. So it depends on how strong their team is tonight. I've not seen it. Apparently Chris Wood's on the bench, so maybe he is thinking about
they're saving him for us. Yep.
Yeah. But
Well, I mean, considering he scored a hat trick against us on Boxing Day in 23. I mean, just
yeah, he did. He turned into bloody prime Messi, didn't he?
Yep.
Breaking the lines, burning the back four, and slotting them over keepers, like dinking them when they were coming out. Yes, Jesse, I do believe it will be a hardish game. You're right. But I can't stress enough how important. I did say on Martin's channel, and I don't know if many people saw that, but what was on our channel about when Martin was on it. I basically said, look, I don't really care about the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. I do, but I don't, because the Premier League is the most important thing that we need to concentrate on this season.
Yep.
Because the Champions League games are, for me, a luxury. It's probably the best way to do it. They're a nice to have games. They're a one-off sort of things. But you can kiss it goodbye next year if we don't get in the top 5 again.
Yeah, we need to we need to climb the league dramatically at this point.
Yeah, and Sunday is just an absolute massive must-win for me at home. And I know that sounds really like doomsday sort of thing, but because we're going into an international break, we need that win under our belt. We need to see ourselves shoot up that table a little bit. We need a few results to go well around us, but we could end up in the top 10 come this international break. And I think...
And going into the break, that would be fantastic.
Exactly. And you get a bit of, everyone goes on the national duty smiling. They all come back smiling, thinking, who we got next? Great, we got Brighton away. Fantastic. But I think we do need a win on Sunday. I think it's a very, very important game. And like I say, the Premier League should be our bread and butter. These are the games that we really need to get up for more than the Champions League games, because the revenue the Champions League brings is great, but it's only great if you're in it every season.
If you're in it every season. Yep, agreed.
And we can't go in it, out it, in it, out it, in it, out it, because that doesn't help a few things. Doesn't help our balance books. It doesn't help our revenue when it comes to our sponsors, because the sponsors become less. They have like things in stipulations. If you're in the Champions League, you get this much. If you're not the Champions League, you get this much. And then it's also strengthening and keeping players. Players want to come to clubs that are stable and in the Champions League almost every season. And players who are at the club, who are great players, won't be having their heads turned like a certain dickhead because of Champions League football. So that's my rant over with when it comes to this. It's like, I love the cups, don't get me wrong. But my thirst for a trophy has been satisfied at the moment. We need now to just stabilise ourselves as a Champions League club, like Arsenal have done for so many years, finishing second. We need to do a bit of that.
Yep, agreed.
That makes sense.
We earned $2 million last night, says Gary Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we need to climb the table dramatically. And again, I say, when we get our full complement of players available to us. Again, we haven't seen this team play with Wissa and Voldemade up front yet. We could see, a Beardsley Cole. We could see a Cole York. We could see, we could see that kind of an effect. Yep, we could see. Well, we could see that kind of effect because we haven't seen it yet. But you're absolutely.
Peter Crouch, Jermaine Defoe.
It could very well could be. I would like to see us in the top 10 before we go on the international break. That would be a big plus for us. I don't like seeing us languish, down in 15th, 13th, and it's only because we've had a tough start. Because we played those first 3 games of the Premier League this season with one leg tied behind our backs because certain rat decided he didn't want to represent the club anymore.
Exactly. People forget this, don't they?
We were shorn, but of course, he may have been our best player, but it was the one thing that pissed me off about it was he wasn't our only player, but none of the other players were showing that they could compensate. So to see us start a march up the league would be fantastic. And, it's starting against Forest. Then we've got Brighton. Then we've got who's after Brighton? I
can't remember. There's a Champions League game in between there, I think.
Well, so there you go. Again, we just need to see this out, and having Jack there to watch the game on Sunday, you know, as his last match in the Toon this trip, you know, bodes well for us. Is it Fulham?
On the 25th, I think. Fulham on the 25th, I think. But again, I mean, looking at the table, you said you want to be in the top 10. It's possible. Results have to go our way.
Absolutely.
But let's just say they do. We could jump from 15th to 8th with a win.
Yep.
But a lot of results have got to go our way between them. So let's just get the win, though. I don't care how we get it. I don't care if it's a scrappy 1-0. Obviously, I prefer a very comfortable 3-4-0 win, a 3-1 win. I don't care as long as we get the 3 points. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Obviously, I'm going to be kaput for the next 3 nights because I'm on 3 night shifts, but I'll be back on Martin's channel on Monday. Hopefully, Dan can make it as well. And we're going to be discussing a combined worst 11, I think, is what we're going to be doing.
I can't wait. I knowing that that's coming up, we're going to be on. Are we on our channel? Or are we on his channel?
His channel this time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that would be exciting, and I have so many flops in my head. I can just start rattling them off.
Yeah, exactly.
Stefan Gavage.
Yes. There's so much to go through. There'll be no review of the Forest game because I say I'm on night shift and then we're on Martin's channel on Monday, so we haven't really got time to fit it in. We might do something Tuesday night. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. Because
I would normally do the Sunday one, but I will be up in Sacramento watching a cup final Saturday night, and I can't legislate for how my head's going to be Sunday morning, and I'm hoping that means I can get up and watch the match. It all depends on whether or not the match is going to be available in our hotel room. So we'll have to go from there. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you on Monday, mate.
Like I said, he's got a life. It's not commitment. Going to watch a cup final and getting drunk is life.
I am purposefully going to this cup final because it doesn't even involve a team that I support, you know. But it's against it. Sacramento Republic is hosting Hartford Athletic. Hartford Athletic shows in their starting rank is a former Monterey Bay player in their goalkeeper who has at this point 10 clean sheets this season. And you know, we want to see Hartford. Hartford was like a basement dweller for the last 4 seasons. Now all of a sudden they have the possibility of finishing 4th in their conference and ending up with some silverware. And of course, because it's at Sacramento, and Sacramento's also a fellow California team, we just want to see. Right now, if you watched my other show, the drop-in on Tuesday night, Monterey Bay is the top team in California of the California teams. We've beaten the other teams in California the most this season. Doesn't mean anything. We're in 10th place out of 12 in our conference, but we're the best team in California. So we want them. We don't at Monterey Bay games because we can't. We're on a college campus that doesn't allow tailgating. But in Sacramento, yes, there will be a tailgate, and I will be bouncing back and forth between the two sides. I have lots of friends in the Sacramento Republic supporters groups. You know, again, supporters are supporters. We're in America. We all think what's good for our team is good for the other team, and what's good for their team is good for us. We're friends, except for those 90 minutes that we're not. You know, so we and given. I remind everybody, you know, it's a 5-hour trip from Hartford to California via planes. So you know, yeah, it's across the country, mate. It's 3,000 miles. Wow. So yeah, and they've been in
America is.
Again, you can fit. I tell this everybody. The Irish island, the island of Ireland, you can fit the island of Ireland into California 9 times. Wow. Just give you an idea of how big this state is. So anyway, that's what we're doing. And so I'm looking forward to the tailgate. The Hartford Athletic players asked if I had a barbecue grill that they could borrow, and I said I don't have one. So they've gone out and bought one. and it's coming home with me apparently. So good stuff.
Love it. Right.
All right. I'll see you on Monday. Baz,
Will
and
do.
good night to everyone.
Yeah, get over to
Geography with
Mancunian
Dan.
way. Yeah, geography. It's always a lesson on this channel. Get over to Mancunian way, subscribe, see us on Monday night, and we can't wait to discuss the worst 11 ever to play for Man City and Newcastle.
That'll be fun.
Take care, guys. Have a good
Cheers,
weekend.
all.
And I wear the Toon.